Welcome back to Global Loot League. This time for game number 4 will be Sims with me here. How are you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. You have a good game number 3? Sounded exciting.
It was amazing.
Yeah?
I think it was actually pretty cool because we had like a mediocre circle and the teams played really well. I think it was well balanced when it comes to team fights, when it comes to the movement from the players. We had seen some sick shots from M24s, from Car 98s, which is always a pleasure to watch. And at the same time, we have seen some really hectic gunfights near to Novo, which was like kind of like, you know, those guerrilla fights going on all the time with constant pressure. So I think it was well balanced, like a good action movie.
It's always good to see a team that's on the worser end of a scenario where they shouldn't be able to necessarily come out of a fight and come out of a battle, which is kind of I call it an uphill struggle, but when you are downhill, it kind of is that, and apologies for the pun intended, but there are a few times you saw teams that really shouldn't have been able to win battles, but they were doing that exactly, and they were coming out on top. And again, when you see a circle like that, and you've just got to... This is one of those games that will always favour a team that is the most creative. Yeah. You know, it's like, I mean, you've been playing a certain card game for many years, and without any more puns, you have to deal the hand you dealt.
That's the interesting thing. When you make this comparison, that's actually something that we talk about in Hearthstone a lot. When two people have bad hands, you know, like, you know, when it comes to the cards that are being drawn, they need to be creative and do something with what is being dealt with, right? If both players have good hands as well, so decent options, that's an interesting game as well. But when one team has just upper hand and will just smash the opposition, that's not fun to watch.
Yeah, right? I mean, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but it's how you deal with that situation, how you come out on top. Speaking of out on top, let's take a look and recap, if you are just joining us, how match number 3 all went down. Lothar, you kind of watched this one, explained it, talk us through how the teams are standing currently.
I mean, that's... When you think about it, it's amazing to see that C9 is so close in points to blank when they have the second place, right? 255 points for blank, which is amazing still. 200 for the placement and 55 for the kills. But look at C9. With just 3 kills more, they almost caught up with the points.
That's some good. I'm just looking at all the different ones on there. Yeah,
so,
kind of how it works out.
Another important thing is Azimuth Lobby has now second good showing. They won game 1. They now have top 4 in the second game. Sorry, in the third game. The second game for them was 0 points, literally 0, because they ended up on 17 with 0 kills. But they are making it up with this game right here, so they're looking decent. They have over, I think, 350 points right now.
Okay, well, let's take what you've said then, and let's actually bring it up into real time. Bump, there we go, just on the dot, 351. Men at the top of the tower, though. It's Cloud9, 385 points. Blank in second. Azimuth down in third with 351. Team Envious, 355. Your top 4 now, currently all in the 300 point zone. 40 odd, what am I looking? Around 40 points difference between 4 and 5. Now remember, guys, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where you want to be after game 5 is all said and done. Let's take a look at kind of who's in the danger area right now. I'd say probably 12 down.
Yeah,
everyone
exactly
below, everybody below 200. NIP, Hollywood Hammers. I mean, EG, 95 points over 3 games. Tempo Storm, one of the teams that I thought would shred in this, to be honest with you. 85 points in 17th place. Pretty even around 5, 6, 7, all through 8 and 9. You know, generally 290, 273. Anything could change there. One good game can quite easily flip this. Now,
honestly, top 10 here is quite open. The next game will differentiate teams that will have no chance of going into the top 4, like 100%, right? And that might like influence the way they're gonna play, right? It's all about then, I guess, sportsmanship, right? But for some teams that will still have the chance for top 4, but only with high kill games, and that will mean that they will have to adjust their strategy. They might just drop hot into like a place where two teams are dropping. They need to kill both teams, get their loot, and kill another team. That's the only way they're gonna go into top 4. Right?
There's also another scenario into that where if they don't actually manage to kill the teams and they die themselves, they actually mess up other teams' potential of doing well. There are further strategies to this. Some people might say, okay, you know, we look at Envious, we look at where they are, we look at Cloud9, we know we need to eliminate them fast. If we want to drag them down and give other people or ourselves a chance, we have to drag them down fast. So it's whether or not you see, trying to kind of picture and if if these teams do the research, they're playing the scrim servers, they know roughly where they go. If they're kind of going to stick to the guns, they're going to change it up. Are they going to go bomb off to Zaki or Lebovka somewhere on the on the coastline and just kind of chill for a little bit? Will we see a more quieter Cloud9? Will we see them now, pulling kind of like what AAA did when we look back at IEM, the last game, just really passive, really slow, just chill your beans a little bit and keep it calm? Or will we see teams trying to hunt them down and try and take them out early games so they can at least get themselves back up there? There's a lot of other potentials and other thoughts and other storylines, and it all kind of starts with that initial playing journey.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with the minimap right now. I know that I'm bringing it up every single game, but I think it's super crucial for the teams to understand right now that they have been given a tool which will affect the game. And it's super important to have one player or someone else that will just take a look at the landings of the other teams and adjust your plan accordingly to that. So, an example, let's say there's a team that needs to take down NIP, right? You jump into quick free landings, and in the previous games you see NIP always dropping the same situations, right? So then you hunt down the one player that's being separated from them and you get easy kill, right? And then you go pressure them again and again. Something that we have seen in game 1 when EG was doing that, but the problem is they got outplayed by NIP and they got wrecked. By the way, EG, the one team that is playing really aggressively over the course of the whole 3 games, is paying high price for that, because you actually mentioned that in 3 games they only got 95 points, right? And 55 points from that was through kills.
It's not massive, is it? I mean,
it's lackluster.
When you're down at the bottom as well, it doesn't really matter. And this is kind of, again, you can throw the flip side scenario. Now, NIP, for example, we're speaking about NIP, so we'll carry on with it. They know they're in 12th. They think, okay, we need to change something. This clearly isn't working. Either we go somewhere and come in late game, we get loot. Because we always see them fighting early game.
Yeah.
We always see these teams at the bottom fighting early game. Do we come in late game? Do we pull the TSM? Do we go outside? Do we come in through the blue? Do we have 2s, 3s, meds out of his mines, weaponry, bullets, ammunition, bags, bombs, you name it, everything? Pull up to the late game. There's a lot to be said for next fight survivability. Being able to know that when you're coming in from the blue, there's going to be a potential that you are going to fight a team.
Yeah.
And having the appropriate gear to approach that fight and be able to not only challenge it, but to take the win as well, and to take the fight and to move on through the blue. Because when you're playing from the blue, you have to remember that every single building you turn up to, it is more than likely a potential to have somebody in it. But more importantly, everyone's an obstacle. Your main task is to get to that circle, and everything is just going to be in your way because there's people going to be on the outside of the circle. They know, if the circle's central, and let's say, you're in the north kind of east area, you can bank on that northeast because you can guarantee someone's going to come from Georgia Paul. You can kind of hang around and think, well, we can just batter a team as they enter the circle. So if you are going to play the late game, you've got to make sure you're looted. Now, enough from us. Speaking of Georgia Paul, there's the plane. She's coming in from the west, and she is taking a little bit of a southerly trajectory, going to go straight across, smack bang through ruins. School's also going to be in a straight dive bomb position. We'll see if NIP do go for that or change things up. Georgia Paul's going to be heavy populated. We're going to have a fair few teams. Some will opt to go up to Zaki if they get the long shoot, maybe get a vehicle. A few will be checking it out. That's why you're kind of seeing around the bridge, or a few just looking where we're going. Should we head down through the Westlands? Should we move to north? Should we move to south? You've got options. You've got crates. You've got the little village just off to the corner. You've even got the hospital. Here comes the rest of the spread. One team's going to head towards shooting range. Do we have NIP?
Honestly, I think every single team is going to their position. I don't think anything changed.
NIP school. We got EG in
Pochinki.
Pochinki. We got one team that's going to be Totality moving to Yasnaya. We got Machine Gunner and his boys heading down towards the farm.
That's Hollywood Hammers. We have Suntouch from Dignitas on South Gorgopol, C9 on North Gorgopol, Envy on Hospital and West Apartments of Gorgopol, and Tempostorm on the west side, west coast actually, which is kind of fitting because I think they're actually all from West Coast in the USA.
Okay.
But they're being joined by... Who's that?
Which team are we looking for?
Karanko.
Down at the bottom.
It has so many
Just
players,
to note as well, let's take a look at where
That's
C9
GA
is.
Esports.
C9 is actually split up between Zaki and North George. Now, the question here is, will the teams that are just to the side of them decide to push in? Because if they do, Solid and Chappy, they're incredible players. But I tell you what, they're going to have to take a fight of team of 4 if they do get pushed whatsoever. Boom, boom, boom. You know what? This is almost the exact circle I actually spoke about in the late game. So, a lot of people, nobody, in fact, I tell a lie, they're making me a liar just right now towards the end. We've got one team, a couple of long flyers heading down towards Nova. That is a cracking circle. We got a ton of players already inside. Not many need to make a movement. We're going to have long looters. People can stay where they are. Everybody in there doesn't have to push a fight. They don't have to push anything. They can get looted to the nines, find themselves a nice little compound, get the boots on the ground. The big battles, well, West Coast. You've got all of George. You've got 3 or 4 teams in there. You've got half a C9 up in Zaki. A couple of players on Severny. They'll probably head towards around Yasnaya, top end of Roz, because no one's there. If they do get the information. The big one is this Envy Dignitas area. They're all around South George is where it's going to get spicy.
One thing I wanted to mention, C9, I think they're going to play the slow game. Since they are on the top of the bracket, they're just going to tank the blue for as long time as possible and go in late. They don't want to risk.
There's no reason to.
Yeah, there's no reason to go in the middle of the circle right now and just take a good position, especially since the circle ended up being kind of in the central position. So teams like NIP, NEG, and other teams that are dropping Pochinki and that area are actually this is the benefit of dropping those positions, because you have a high chance that you will be already in the middle of the circle. That gives you a huge advantage in the next ones.
Do you think that's why they've split off, just in case one of them dies, the others can survive?
I think so, because they don't need kills. They just need good placement, decent placement, right? So if they have like 2 members in Zaki that can just, drive through the entire north of the map without probably meeting anyone for the next 15 minutes and just go late into the circle from a side that will not be populated, because you can always have a estimate of where people are landing and how they'll be moving. That's something that is very important from a shot caller in a team. He has to make a call. Let's go. The position of the circle accordingly to the plane will tell us that northeast side will only have 1 team that can be leaving that position in the next 3 minutes. Let's take their position and they'll just follow their path. And then you will have no one in front of you for the next minutes, right? And you will have a higher and higher placement for most likely in the game.
So here's another question for you then. I'm just going to throw it there because we might be getting some action in probably within the next 30 seconds, especially if George starts to crock off. But when we kind of look towards what we're saying about evil geniuses, do you think it's wrong of them to keep doing the same thing on repeat? Once again, they've gone to Pochinki and they're getting pushed by a team already.
Honestly,
because I would say if it works for you, then stick to your guns.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, it's not working. So I'm not sure what's their plan. Maybe they're not going to engage and just gonna just try to be defensive. But
it really ruins your loot, though.
Yeah, and Pochinki is not having that great of a loot anyway. Like for 8
not
people,
with 2 teams, no way.
8 people loot for Pochinki, it has to be like a really good spawn. Otherwise, you're being left out with pretty underwhelming loot.
If one of you gets, well, if 2 of you get a level 3 from Pochinki, then you're laughing. But between 8 players, yeah, you've got to murder the other one. You've got to come out 4 strong. It looks like one player's already taken a bullet. It's already kind of bit it, so to speak. Who's that going to be? I think he might be already healed up and topped up. I believe it was.
By the way, wasn't cool having his nickname with an H?
Good, maybe. Might have changed it. May have got a new account. You never know.
True.
Looks better to me. I keep wanting to call it. Although I don't like the Z on Watts, I keep wanting to call him Swats, but it's not. It's actually just Watts.
Wait, Swatch.
Zwats. So I don't have the accent like you. I can't do it. I have a terrible accent.
What?
Mine's
You're native.
Excuse me?
You're a native speaker.
I'm a terrible speaker. I assure you. I sound rough as hell where I come from. Ashek will be getting grenaded.
It's kind of hilarious when it comes to native speaker. Anyway, I'm Phil with almost a good grenade. It's so hard to actually hit anything when you aim like that. Like, even with a good grenade, someone will hear it coming from far away, right?
Not a grenade like that where you almost hit yourself. Does bank off, gives away. Now he knows exactly where he's going to be coming from. He'll be giving away the footsteps, but obviously he doesn't realise Ashek has completely bailed. He's got his teammates to back him up.
And that's a good decision. Something from EG that we need to see if they want to get higher placement, and go back into the contention for the top 4, because they still have a chance. If they win or get top 3 in the next 2 games, they might actually have a shot to be in the top 4.
Just really quickly to break in here, Lothar. If you look now at Envy are making a push.
Moving already?
Yeah, they're having an early one. They are taking a lot of bullets, though. That's going to be Jesse at the back. His vehicle's going to get tanked up from Gatka. That's Zampa and Co. who will drill him, but they're going to move past.
Permanently, so,
There you go, then.
I
Took
mean,
me a second to figure out where you were going with that one, but I do get it now. It's a good meme. It's a deep meme, but it's good. We'll let it pass.
I always wonder if the player that has a nickname like that just played a lot of League of Legends and just stayed like that or something like that.
Just kept it. Yeah, actually, I can kind of agree with that one.
Like solid FPS. Why FPS, right?
Because it's a first-person shooter, man.
Probably. Or maybe just, likes to complain about frames per second. Because he has solid frames per second.
Wow. This is going too deep. I'm going to move on from this because now I'm actually thinking about it way too much and not looking at the game. Bullets are flying. No one's dying. NIP still happily just moving away from school and kind of moving towards more around the villa area. There's a small little compound over there. Silky Me getting a lift. Uber driver will be getting 5 stars. Trying to honk some people out of the base. That's it, boy. Just let everyone know you're turning up. I know you want to get some action, but you don't know if anyone's waiting for you inside that compound, my friend. What's he? Oh, he's actually got the MK. I didn't realise. So he has been crate chasing. That MK. What's your thoughts on the MK, the sniper rifle?
I think it's an amazing weapon, but it's hard to handle.
60. It's going to hit you for 60 a time. It does hit pretty hard.
Well, it's like a better SKS, right? And if people some people like SKS, like myself, I love the weapon, right? But it's hard to handle. But in my opinion, especially in squads, those weapons that have high bullet count, with the extended, that's 20 bullets that you can shoot at high speed against an entire squad. It's suppressing fire. It's a lot of damage. It can help out the spam from other weapons. Okay. I think it's more valuable than Kar 98 in most situations.
Are you more of a DMR user than like the Mini? Are you a bit of a Mini user?
Yes.
That's what you killed me with when you took me 8 times in the field.
Did I?
Yeah, and I was really
I think that was AK.
That was definitely a Mini. You probably spam me with an AK and then finish with a Mini. Either way, I'll never forgive you for it. Circle is about to crunch all these players together, and you can see around the central area we've got about 3 or 4 teams all moving up. Envious have made it across. We've got EG. They've worked their way out of Pachinki. Be interesting to see how their loot goes, but Moody's getting tanked up in Severny. Several players moving by. The bullets are flying. Is he going to bail into the water? No, he's just going to walk on the water's edge.
Oh, they actually kind of went to the hill.
Is he going to chase this? He does. He wants the kill. So this is quite aggressive, and this has really put Moody in a god-awful position.
Yeah, there's no way he can win a team fight like that.
Oh, God. It's been nice knowing you, Moody.
And Pybus has already blood on his...
It's been really nice knowing you, my friend. See you later. Wow. Our first rip of the game, and C9, our number 1 place team here, after 3 games, have already lost the player.
Yeah, but I think they're okay with that. That was the scout that had paid the price, right? That can happen. So this is exactly what we had been anticipating from them, right? One guy was going to scout the north side of the circle to tell the guys from Zaki, can they go there, right? In this situation, no, can do. Please don't go there, right? So Chappie, if I'm not mistaken, just took a south side of the road and just went straight into the circle, while the Zaki members will be still creeping behind, taking some damage. They probably have a lot of loot and a lot of heal, but possible. But Zyphon is taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's going to be Dignitas split off in 2s again, I believe. You're hearing grenades, though. I'm hearing them left and right. Bullets coming in. Liquids will at least answer back and tag one up. He does have his teammate down, though. It's going to be a tricky situation if they can get him up. He's going to use the first aid.
Mexican standoff, right? 3 teams shooting at each other, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it looks like Undercover's just going to put the smoke down so they can at least back off. He does turn around, though. Starts drilling with a 16, but it's going to do absolutely no luck whatsoever. Liquids is trying to stay alive here. Is he going to go for Siphon? He's got to get this kill. He has to make it count. Looking at Liquid's POV on the right-hand side. Tap, tap, tap. That's the M4 doing its job. We've got the vertical coming in. Control the spray a little bit. Spadge comes in to help his teammates, and now this is a good rotation from Dignitas. They're actually turning up to try and help their teammates out. If he gets him up, that's going to be all 4 alive. He does, so great work from Liquids here. He'll also bag himself a free kill if he just makes sure that no one else is using this player as bait. To be fair, he can actually use it to his own advantage and use this player as bait.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And there is a lot of potential outplay when it comes to using knocked out players.
He will finally die, so they'll bag themselves some points. Dignitas, they come out strong. 4 players remain after that engagement. Nice work from Liquid's got to give him credit where credit is due. And here comes the pinch then. We'll see where these players are going to be moved towards. What are you feeling, Yaz?
The problem with Yas is that a lot of people actually want to avoid it, since it can be a very concentrated area when at some point it will be just coming down to RNG who will have the high ground and first peek from a window, right? People don't like that. They want to fight in more on open field or just, next to a building, not inside the building. Assaulting a building is the worst nightmare for a team. First of all, I don't think teams actually practice breaching buildings.
It's kind of a... Well, I mean, first of all, it's high risk, high reward, right? But more importantly, there is a reason for doing it. And breaching a building, you have to have vehicles. You have to go in separately so you all don't die at once. And you have to, you have to have gear to be able to take some bullets, because you are going to get nailed when you're moving into that. And there has to be a reason. You have to be doing it in a term of, okay, if we don't do this building, if we don't take it, we're going to die. We're outnumbered. If we don't at least get this point now on the map, we're going to die. There's always a reason for doing it. Envious leaving the bike. Obviously, there's plenty of sound there, and they do have a nice dip. Is this going to be the rest of their team turning up with a vehicle? Because if it is, it's going to give them some coverage. The UAS can be used as a nice cover as long as you don't run them over, which he actually just...
Almost happened.
Cracks Jesse and doesn't lose any life, which is amazing. But either way, Venerated will get out of dodge on the motorbike. He'll be the scout. The bullets are coming in. He's got a pad on his ass at least, so he can be covered, but he's slowing it down. I like it. Don't crash the bike. Fair play.
He's actually taking a different position than the rest of his team. I like it. But they're getting
battered.
By Andrea.
Andrea did wreck Jesse.
Exactly.
He's down. And they've left him. He's gone, so he's going to be a bleed out. Please, don't leave me, friends. Please. That's a second one as well. Has he been tapped?
Azimuth Lobby has really some good shots here. And look at that. They lost the UAZ there in the open. That one little shack will be not enough cover to guarantee their livelihood right now.
And just looking at the kill feed, C9 have bagged themselves another kill. Sun Touch for Dignitas also picking one up, so that's more points on the board for both of those teams. You can see the fight going on just on the hillside, just down from the east a little bit. There's 2 teams taking a fight on that one. Zampa comes in with times.
Maps.
That's going to be the 16 doing its work. Dre up on the side, Tempo Storm not having the best of events so far. Down at the very bottom end of the table. Oof. Level 3 is going to do its job, though. Saves his life. He's got the chest here on red 1, 2, 3.
But he's getting shot from a different direction, and that was validated from Tempo Storm getting the final shot on red 1, 2, 3, 6 blue from Apex Esports.
Pings the pan, but the helmet's gone. You're dead, my friend. No. I won't even bother with him. Just leave him be. Use him as bait. Your boy Dre. Tempo still creeping around. Do Tempo still have all 4 players alive? Because it would be nice if they do. I believe they do.
Gale Force is the first team eliminated this time.
Ooh, lots of shots going up here. We're up in the north, beyond the wall. Spray down comes in. One will fall. They're going to go for the vehicle, and they get him as well. Tap, tap, tap. They drill him out of the car. That's 2 players falling for that team. Who's that going to be? Pybus and NB LOL. 2 kills here for Walter. Nice work. That's a long-range spray down as well. And a UAS moving. I think with that going that fast, it actually drove off over the hill.
I think so.
He's coming back. Hello. So they backed themselves a free vehicle.
That's by the way, using vehicles that are just driving by on their own is a fantastic strategy that people are actually practicing, because it can be used in so many different situations when you could just move behind it when it's just rolling slowly. Especially after you can just put it on, like, let's say first gear, blow it up, and then it just slowly goes there, and it cannot be blown up by anyone else.
If you're going to stay there for a while, then obviously, hang on a minute. Jesse's been rezzed?
How the hell did that happen? I mean, Venerated got rest.
How
he was knocked out.
In God's name have they pulled this off?
They didn't have a vehicle, right?
They didn't. They had no vehicle. No, they had the bike there. They did. They had a bike.
Right, next to the shack.
So Venerated has been an absolute saviour. He's took the bike. He's took the ballsy player. He's run all the way across. There it is on the floor. He's picked up Jesse. The odds were against him. they were getting banged out of this window by Andrea. I mean, they're going to have another crack. 8 times on the Scar. Flash Hider's on there as well. Level 3 chest, level 2 helmet. Can take some bullets if needed. I'm going to give him credit where credit's due. That is a ballsy and big play for Envious to keep 4 players up like that. Especially when you pincer between 2 teams, because they've got one behind them on the hill that was nailing them inside the shack.
I think they had to like make that call when they have heard that Azimuth was shooting someone else, right? And when you see a team distracted, then you have an opening to do risky stuff like that, but at the same time, the payout is pretty high.
Well, they've kept 2 alive.
Ooh, how the hell that happened?
So I think there's another team. Actually, unless it was just Caden. Did Caden actually rotate out and get an angle on them? I mean, he's been blazing people these last few games.
But look at EG. They're taking shots, and they killed Karanko right now. So this is them slowly advancing towards their goal. GA Esports losing a member. And if I'm not mistaken, an entire team? No, they have still a member alive.
So the circle comes in. We've got Prison. We've got Shelter. We've got a few other places around there. We've got the Lumberyard down in the south. 3 players alive on screen here. There is a team approaching them, though, so they need to be careful. That team just says, nope, we're not going there because we know there's going to be people. We've got 2 vehicles, so we'll opt to move on. Excuse me, all 4 players still alive over here. NIP do have 4 members up by the look of it. Cloud9 have got 3, but Cloud9 did just go chasing a crate up in the south, up in the north, which I just copped for. You can see them there. They're all just hanging around outside Yasnaya. Down in the south, though, the rotations are coming in. Look at all those vehicles. How many's in play? At least 10, so to speak. This is going to get really messy really fast. Now, the one thing about this circle, there's a lot of ground cover, not a ton of compounds to hide in. There's a fair few, but certainly not enough to keep 58 alive.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's the favorite circle of everyone, right? When it comes down to who has a better position right now and will take all the credit for the kills. And by the way, Check Shooter, again, a sweep on a team. He is doing some work for Envy. NIP being chased.
Oh, that's a pan.
Borg with eggs, I assume. Like that pair that never gets separated.
He actually did get hit on the pan. He actually got hit in the back of the head, I think. X will get his life back. Level 3 with Borg. If he's got a sniper rifle, that's going to be enabled to. It's always nice to see when a team has a level 3 amongst them. They'll always give it to the sniper just so he can peek and just survive that one. Yep. That one beautiful 7.62 that comes from the K98 just pings you between the eyes. Where is C9? Are they having a long rotation? Looks like Sweater's going for it as well. That's going to be the long rotation from them. C9 are just chilling.
Here we go.
They have no reason to fight. There is 0 reason for them to fight. They can let everybody die. Where do you think they're going to come in, though? That's the bigger question.
I think they're going to just come in with the blue. They're just going to tank the next circle as well and just slowly creep up to like 100, 200 meters away from the white circle and see where people are moving and then move in that direction.
So they've got 3 vehicles amongst them. Frolicker on the dustbin.
I wouldn't even mind if they would just split in 3 different directions.
It's possible. And then try and meet up somewhere else. They can have a full rotation. It'd be interesting to see if they do follow suit or if they go different ways.
All right. So they are going in fast. That means that they're low on healing.
Yes.
So they cannot tank more blue, and they need to move now.
They're going to follow the road. So if we look at the map, if they stay on the road, ooh, they could be hitting Envy. In fact, no, they're not. They're just coming straight across the middle.
Silky meat on the sole position on that complex. By the way, that complex is amazing in squads to actually be defensive in. But now he's going to have to move, and that's the sole member of Hollywood Hammers.
NIP taking a fight over by Mansion. Ooh, Crunch just pokes back in. He's like, nope, not today, thank you.
Where's my helmet and my head?
It's going to be bleeding out, unfortunately. Borg with the minute. Goes for the quick scope. He knows where these players are.
One thing that I'm really happy about PUBG is the fact that we don't have bleeding out. Like, from shots just like that.
Although I do think the bleed out system needs to be slightly tweaked for, like, not being able to revive players so much. Thankfully, in the competitive environment, you don't see it as much. But I'd like it to be, like, obviously increasing speed. But I think once you're down for a 3rd time, that's it. You're dead. Yeah. You're done. You get 2 chances, 3rd strike, you're out. Where have Envious landed? Envious are just turning up. Cloud9. They're turning up to an absolutely mass gunfight, and they did. They met Team Envious. Once again, Caden just inside this turret. Chappie and Solid inside the shack. They will claim victory on that. All 3 players stay alive. They got battered on the way in, but I tell you what, working as a team, they cleared out the shack. They're all still alive, and they're making it up. Every kill by kill, they keep the points alive, and they keep their stance.
Right now.
Yes.
Most likely some heals. So they're feeling decent, I would say. And look at that, they're taking shots at totality. They have a good position. They're on a higher ground, so they will know where people are going.
Rotations are coming in. Everyone in the vehicles and everyone's starting to move. The circle has adjusted position, and we've swung all the way pretty much over the prison, if my eyesight wasn't mistaken. Take a look at this little compound here, and there it is, the prison. Lots of open ground here. A lot of teams just getting funneled in. NIP are having a field day. Line them up, boys. We'll knock them down. We need these points. We need these kills. We'll happily take these, but themselves, they have to come out of this compound. They need to get inside the circle as well. Nobody inside the prison. Nice usage of the rocks up here. Envious. They're going to opt to move over the villa just outside of this. Nobody's in there, and I'm surprised because you have so many sightlines over there. But then again, when you get to this stage, you're so worried that there's going to be so many people.
That's such a fantastic complex to take that almost always someone is there already, right? So you don't take that risk, as you said.
It's mainly this back building, especially if the circle has Lepovka in, because you get people coming over the hill. You can just skyline them and just peek them and ping them. Lots going on over here. Dignitas, Sun Touch, finds Shredded. Grenade goes down. He didn't have to do it, but he doesn't mind. His teammates there to help. 1, 2 grenades. He's going to go for a third. Let the grenades do the job. Yes, he does. Picks himself up another kill. He knows there's many more players around this corner.
He's going in.
He fancies it.
Like
he smells blood.
Oh, that jump almost paid it. Almost paid a high price for that jump and almost died. Look at that. Red helmet, red vest.
But I tell you what, his teammates have got the kill. 1, 2, 3. That's an entire squad wipe for Dignitas, and they're going to get some big points off of their 4 kills in the barrel. Let's take a look where everyone else is. Nip have moved out of their little campy hole, and now they're going to move forward. Plenty of shots coming down. They've moved the bikes in, and they've kind of camped up here on the side. Vehicle explosion comes in. That'll be Totality picking one up. Crunch with the spray down. His teammates behind him. Brooksy will fall on there as well. X comes in, takes out Brooksy for the sake of it. We'll see Matthew taking out Rosa with a vehicle explosion. You saw that one down in the kill feed and also just off in the distance. They've got nobody behind them. That's the good thing about where they are. This is literally the only good thing about where they are, is that they're so far against the back of the circle, no one can rush them from behind, but they've got to be careful. This one team, oh my, what? They're all in there?
You don't see that often, but in this situation, I don't blame them.
Panic mode.
Like, where do you hide? You being in the complete open from every single angle. The only thing that could have been horrible, even more horrible than what than the current situation, is that one side of that track would have been visible from a high ground, and someone could shoot them from high ground through those windows.
Caden finally dies. Sun Touch picks up another one. Checks Suter as well, so that might be the end of Envious, if I'm not mistaken. They may potentially have one person left alive. We'll see how that one kind of goes down. Kylank also knocks out Solid. So, C9 losing a player. How many C9 is still alive? They certainly will make their way in. NIP have to make a move now. Wow, the circle. Straight onto the road. So,
and look at Quick Map. They're still in the zone.
Chilling.
In that little shack.
This might have just gone their way, to be honest with you.
Ooh, they're being shot at. No, wait, that was Painkiller.
Solid's dead. Still got all of Dignitas just up top. They're working their way around. They're moving down on top of EG as well, so this could get rather spicy. And look at this wall of vehicle. It's not going to save him from that bullet, unfortunately. The headshot is found. He gets dropped. His teammate will be able to get him back up. There is a tiny gap. Bog's also going to get pinged from behind. That's going to be Orcs. Now Nip have to rotate and try and help him out and get some cover. Isn't really any cover you can get. You just got to use covering fire. Sweater's pushing out a little bit aggressively. He's getting too far near the compound. And as we're doing this, look at the kill feed.
With the frag grenade on 3 players at the same time.
That's the good spot as well.
Holy moly, what a... I mean, not a molly, but what a nade.
He's going for it. They want this. They're going to finish it. They're pushing in hard. He's spraying him down, but he answers back. He gets fallen. He accepts the challenge and says, that's okay. If you want to come and challenge, my friend, please do so. 2 of them has fallen. That's going to be Purdue who's in danger. His teammates right behind him, but they are out in the open. He will lose 1. He will lose 2. They can at least get it picked up. NIP, though, still 4 players remaining here. They managed to get themselves back together. The flash went inside.
How the hell did that flash?
I have no idea.
No. They're throwing it outside, so no one can approach them.
Oh god, it takes one grenade, and here they come, the flood! Basketballs, the players all over the place, and they're all pushed out. There's one, there's two, there's three. One player remaining inside the compound. Can they seal the deal here? NIP, they want this final kill. If they do, that's 4 players in the back. Crunch is peeking round the corner. Does he have enough room to see it, though? He goes in, he rushes in, he gets killed himself. He just run in.
Fantastic play by the teammates of Nuki. I don't know if you noticed,
He's got him.
What happened is that one of the teammates of Nuki, I think that was Havoki or Sentex, actually blocked the entrance, so NIP couldn't rush into the small shack, and that bought the time for his teammate to actually be in a better spot. And that was the reason why they did win the fight. So quick math, won because of the knocked out player. That is a replay for days, and
That's
NIP
incredible.
has to ask themselves, what did we do wrong? It was a perfect setup. Those grenades were fantastic. You have seen those players being tossed around, literally tossed around. They were knocked from the nade, 2 of them, right? So they had the perfect setup, but somehow they lost the fight, man. That is frustrating.
I do think a big crossfire came in. I could probably guarantee you there were shots coming in from behind it. We'd have to go back and look at it from a different one. But yeah, being able to pin Crunch back like that and just kind of sit on an angle and stop him from walking in. And while that's all going on, you're feeding information to your team, saying, okay, peek,
He's
get
rushing.
ready. Get ready to angle this. Get on.
Fire this.
Yeah. Hold the corner. Hold the door, my friend. He does. He stands his ground. And with, 2 HP remaining, he's still managed to get him up. So 2 players alive. Envy Venerated is still there. So Envious are actually here. Is Cloud9 there, or is all of Cloud9 dead?
Cloud9 is dead. Dead. And so is Andrea.
Andrea finally falls. Tempo Storm.
The last member of Tempo Storm, Luke, is now on the hunt with a level 3 helmet. He's looking pretty decent, actually.
He's got a pan, mate. He's going to win this game. Guarantee you.
Do you actually run with the pan sometimes out, so
Yeah,
you know,
just
block
cover your
shots
face now and
from
again.
your face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only ever worked once, where I'm just running with it, and all of a sudden, dink, and it was like I think it was a sniper rifle or something, but
Ooh,
yeah, it
2
was dead
smokes. Nice. Even 3 smokes. Does he have more? The blue comes in. That is high damage right now. He needs to move.
It's really going to hurt him, and he does have to run, but he's been spotted out. Tempo Storm tries to
That's
call
about it.
Storm himself with the smoke grenades, but Dignitas are looking good. 8 players remaining. We're moving into what could potentially be the final circle, unless EG is still just holding back. I don't think they are. 2 players will run in front of Dig. Do they have the information here?
We have a
say
lot
so.
of teams actually still alive. Well, Envious just died.
They don't know they're behind them. They've no idea they're right behind them.
This is gonna be nasty.
This is all of Dignitas alive. Information comes in. He spots one player. He's pushing and aggressive. Cypher knows what's going on. Opts to go for the M16 with the 8 times. Picks off one. Can he get the second? His teammate's there to help him out.
That's actually M4 with an 8 times. Impressive shooting.
Incredible stuff. Questionable why he's got the 8 times on there and not on the K98 and vice versa, but never mind. He makes it work. Whatever works best. 4 versus 1. This, for my friends, is a Dig win.
Most likely. Although, if Nuki pulls this off...
Pulls an Anti-Pyro, I believe.
See. Let's see if that's possible.
I'm sorry, I don't. Not in this scenario. I just think it's way too much. 2-2.
But he has... Look at that. He actually has a decent position. He is flanking them. He will catch one off guard, that's for sure. If he gets the knock and then changes the position, like, 180 degrees, he might have a good chance of killing another member. And slowly, methodically, he can have this fight.
Unless he just wants to knock one, kill it, and get the point for him.
That's also true. Maybe he has nades. Who knows? And now he knows where there's one guy. That gives him informations.
One of them split off from the pack. 3 push forward, 1 hangs back, and that's fine. It's a game of who sees who's fit. Oh, sees the head jump. Has the info. There he is. Oh, sees the second one.
That's a
Knocks
free kill.
one. That's nice.
That's the rotation. Fantastic play. But they know where he is. Now he needs to take shots.
Yeah, unfortunately, he has peeked up. Dignitas says, thank you very much. See you later, my friends. I'm not good at math, but that is a lot of kills. Straight off the top of the head. What's that, 15 plus 8?
What the hell? 10, 18, 23 kills. What?
Woo! That's
Dignitas with 23 kills? All right, so that's almost a quarter of a public server. Of a public one.
That's a lot of points. That's plus 200 as well. Plus, obviously, once you hit double digits, you then start getting 10
per kill. Yeah. So this is 120 points just for the 12 kills above 10. That's incredible. That's absolutely... I think that's the record in GLL so far. I don't think anyone else had more kills.
Where were they around? Where were they hovering around on the scoreboard? Do you remember?
That's a good question. Maybe the production can pull it up and we'll see.
We'll see if it's actually going to kind of done something in real time.
Fantastic game by Dignitas.
Amazing.
But I have to say, the play of the game, although Dignitas had, methodical approach to this game, they racked in kills. I think the play of the game was a teammate of Nuki that blocked the entrance. I don't know who was that, but I need to see it because Quick Math just did something incredible, and NIP just got humiliated.
There we go. Humiliated. We got
Thank
it.
you.
We got it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think of it on that one. I was more so watching to see who were going to win the engagement, because obviously it was the battle to take that, not only that position, that place, but to move up on the board. And NIP, they were looking good. You could see that initial grenade. I think it bodied 2 people straight away.
It did.
I mean, what happened? One of them. I need to know if one player run out and flanked from behind the shack, or if they got kind of nailed across the map. It'd be an interesting one, because I just don't see how 3 of NIP dropped so instantly when 2 players got hit by that grenade. It was just all kind of, everything just happened in the spur of the moment. It was hard to keep track of. So if we do have the replay in the back, we'll have a look at it and we'll see how that one kind of all went down. But yeah, being able to block that player, come to think of it now, and just kind of leaning left and right, it's like, nope, you're not going in here. And then still to be able to get in with, like, what, 2 HP and stay alive.
Yeah. It was quite the play. I'm not sure. I think NIP actually got wrecked because someone else started shooting at them when they tried to approach the shack. Yeah. Because I don't see how the damage was wrecking so fast on them. Here we have the beginning of the game. Moody, the scout of C9, paid the price for being the scout. By the way, horrible fashion choice from Pipers. Did you see those gloves? They don't fit the top. It's like brown and white, black.
You're gonna start hating on a man's fashion sense. Come on, it's PUBG, man. You can't do that.
I mean, yeah, I know people have yellow.
Hate on him for his spray, but not that spray, because that were a damn good one. We saw. Oh, so it did go. Actually, it went all the way. It did just go off into the distance. I don't think that was the one that came back.
Here we see Santaj with that Rambo play. He was able to actually do this Rambo play because he knew there's only one member left, and even if he gets knocked out.
There we go.
Okay.
So they're all running in. So yeah, they're getting drilled from up on the bridge. Excuse me, not up on the bridge, over in the on the far side. Look, Boggs behind there. Boggs behind the shack. And they're getting lit up from behind. Yeah, look, he's just blocking him. Bye. Amazing. Yeah, so rather unfortunate work there for NIP, because they kind of had that because there were so many people over by the jail area. There was nothing they could do. Otherwise, they would have had that compound and they've been able to pick people off as they come down. Probably could have had maybe a top 2, top 3 scenario if NIP had managed to pull that one off and keep everyone alive at least and move forward. 'Cause they had a vehicle to work with outside that as well. They could use that to rotate, pull it up outside the circle, use it as some sort of defense. So a little bit unfortunate for them. We'll bring you the scores up in the next round, because I'm interested now to see kind of, that is huge points from Dig. Like I'm trying to figure out. You get 200 for the win.
Can't remember.
So you're gonna get 200 for the win. You're gonna get over 10 kills. It's 130. So that's 330 before you even start. Before you even, then you're missing the initial. In fact, actually, the point schemes, I'll be able to tell you. We're looking at what? Let me try and work on this one. So 10, 65, and then you said it were 130. So rough guess, 195 plus 200. So you're talking nearly a 400-point round. For
one game, when we have seen like top finishes being 600 points. So it's kind of crazy. Look at this. Every kill after the 10th is 10 points. So 150 for those kills, right? And then you have 65. So as you said, exact 195 points for just the kills, which is like winning a game on its own.
They might have just jumped to the top with that one game. I didn't see where they were in the table. It doesn't remind me whereabouts they were on the kind of like the
C9, I think, in this game ended up around 8th, maybe 9th, if I'm not mistaken. And that gives them some points to still be on the top, I think. It all depends on Dignitas' position, because honestly, I can't remember. It's too many teams to remember every single one. But we're going to see that, well, before the next game.
Yep, it's just got a little bit more interesting. Dignitas have kind of messed things up and made it just a little bit more spicy. We're going to take a very short break, and when we return, we have game number 5. Guys, you do not want to miss it. This is the penultimate climate. This is where everything comes together, and this is pretty much the end of the night, because after this final fight, the 5th game, only 4 teams can go forward tomorrow.
Exactly.
Don't go anywhere. We're back in a second.